What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Base Damage. This video, we're continuing along looking at the Avatar: The Last Airbender spoilers. It is put up by Weiss Time. Thank y'all very much for posting up these just spoilers in general. Typically, they also do like the translations for like the JP sets and everything, so I'm very happy that they're doing this. There are some awkward screenshots in here. I've looked ahead at a couple cards, mostly because of like the artwork is so cool for these cards. We're gonna go over every single one of them. But there are some cards where it's, you have to see the person's like holding the card for the thing. We really can't help that. And that's okay. I'm just gonna deal with it, and we'll just have to read the cards as best we can. This is about as far as I can zoom in before it starts trying to cut off like the other cards over here. So I'm gonna try to read like clearly and concisely. I have looked at some of these cards already. There's some coming up that I'm like, what the fuck? But I am so excited for this set. I already posted up the trial deck plus spoilers. Please go check that out. But let's just jump right into this. It's the first one. Aang, the Last Airbender, is a 0/1500. On attack, if all of your characters are World of Avatar, which is basically their music trait, it's just everyone has it. Choose one of your characters. That character gets 2,000 power until end of turn. That is very sizable. This is the first double rare, by the way. When your other World of Avatar character is frontal attacked, you can pay 1, sack this card. If you do, return that character to your hand. Just for the 2k buff alone, that's pretty cool. I don't know if you're gonna, I don't remember if you had to like do a lot of reversing at like level 1 or 2 or something, but that is really cool just to start off the thing. The next one, Aang, Master of All Elements. Look, take a moment. Okay, first off, this avatar is the SP. If I had one complaint with this set so far, it is the fact that they do the stamped instead of like the actual SPs. But holy shit, look sorry, not that. Look at this the secret rare art right here for Master of All Elements. Go to Weiss Time and look at it yourself. Tell me this isn't one of the most badass looking cards you've ever seen. I don't know. Look, I loved the show. This is definitely doing it justice. It looks like it has every single one of the different kingdom symbols for the Air Nomads, the Earth Kingdom, all that, the Fire Nation attacked, all that jazz. So this looks so freaking beautiful. I'm not going to dwell on this too long, but I had to showcase this. This is so cool. So Aang, Master of All Elements. It's a 3/2 10k. When this is placed on stage from hand, you may put the top card of your clock into a waiting room. If when this card attacks, if energy bending, which I know is a choice trigger, which is, I mean, it says it right here anyway, but I did look ahead and saw the only yellow climaxes in here were choice triggers. If energy bending is in your climax area and all of your characters are World of Avatar, you can pay 1 and discard 1 card. If you do, put the top 4 cards of your deck into the waiting room. If the total number of colors, because it's supposed to, each of the colors, that I figured they would do this. Each of the colors basically represents each different element. So yellow represents airbending, blue represents water bending, etc. So, mill 4. If the total number of colors is 2 or more, you get to choose 2 cards in your opponent's waiting room, return them to their deck, and your opponent shuffles their deck. If there are 3 or more, burn your opponent for 3. And if there's 4 or more colors, put the top card of your opponent's deck into their clock. It's understandable that the cost is so low because you're probably not going to hit all that. You're probably more than likely going to hit the first effect, maybe the second effect on that. But being able to get like guaranteed damage, burn, and then like decompress your opponent as well as its damage coming through is pretty freaking cool. This may not be the best finisher in the entire set or anything, because I still haven't looked through every single combo. But if nothing else, this art alone makes up for it. And this is still a very cool card overall. So let's get going. Aang, blending in. So 1/0/45. When this is placed on stage from hand, put the top 4 cards of your deck into the waiting room. I see a theme here. If the total number of colors revealed is 2 or more, this gets 2k power until end of turn, making him a 1/0/65. If there's 3 or more, he gets an ability until end of turn. He gets Twin Drive. And if there's 4 or more colors, you can choose a World of Avatar in your waiting room or put it into your stock. Okay. So the extra stock would pay for the Twin Drive. For those who don't know what Twin Drive is, you pay 1 stock and perform trigger check twice. So alternate art for it as well. Pretty cool. So the one, like I said, there's a lot of cards that are going to have, like, you're going to see the person's holding it, but still, thank you to the dude who was, showing these cards. It's greatly appreciated. We have a 00500 Lion Turtle. If all of your other, or just a global 500 all World of Avatar. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may pay the cost, which is 1 stock if you do move this card to an open position of your backstage. Really cool. 001,000 Appa Flying Bison. The SR for that's cool. When this is placed on stage from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is 2 or higher, put it into your stock. Otherwise, return it to its original place. When this is placed on stage from hand, this card gets 3k power till end of turn. He get pretty big. He get pretty beefy. I mean, he's a big boy. He's a chunky boy. I didn't see this the first time I glanced through. Appa and Momo Samurai Battle. They're both holding like katanas or some shit. That looks so cool. So 1/1. It's a 2k backup. When you use this card's backup, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a World of Avatar, put it into your hand, choose 1 card in your hand, put it in the waiting room. A typical Leafa backup, but at level 1 instead of level 2. Pretty cool. Aang, learning Avatar State. This was one of the ones I saw when I first glanced through, and I saw all the fucking trigger icons up here, and I had to just stop and go, wait, what the fuck? Okay, it's a 2/1/1000. I'm gonna say the other effect first. It has an alarm effect. If this card is in the top card of your clock and you have 4 or more World of Avatar characters at the beginning of your climax phase, you may put the top card of your deck into your stock. This is actually a really good alarm ability. Oh boy, if your climax area has a choice trigger icon, this card in all of your zones gets the choice trigger icon. Repeat process for gold bar, repeat process for standby, and repeat process for pants trigger. Like I said, where each of those is supposed to represent each of the elements, and this is him, mastering all 4 elements. Which is just hilarious that it's like you can stick this into any deck build. You can literally run this singular card. It's an uncommon. This single card can go into every single deck build, no matter whether it's gold bar, whether it's standby, which is hilarious because if it's a gold bar, then this goes to your hand and you can trigger it for the alarm effect. I just thought of that. That's really cool. But for any of the effects up here, and this has a crit trigger icon, which should be taken into note for if you trigger choice. You could trigger another copy of it, add it to your hand, and then clock it the next turn, get the alarm effect to go off. Really cool. So this is going to be a very, very utilized uncommon of all things. Just no matter what build you put it in. So that's really, really cool. And I wanted to highlight this card if nothing else. When I saw this, I was like, what the fuck? So yeah. 2/1 Aang Missing Companion is a 6k. If you have another copy of it in your level, this gets -1 level in your hand. Pretty easy to pull off. If all of your characters are World of Avatar, this gets 1,000. When reunion with the group is placed in your climax area, which we know is a choice trigger, if this card is in your center stage, your hand has 6 or less cards, and you have another Avatar character, search your deck for an Appa Lost, put it on any position of your stage, shuffle your deck, and that character gets the following ability until end of turn. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may put the top card of your deck into your stock. So I don't know what... I don't think I saw Appa Lost. So that's Flying Bison. So we should see that one at some point. Aang, the Importance of Forgiveness, is a 3/2/9/5. If your waiting room has 2 or less climaxes, this gets -1 level in hand, gets 500 power for each avatar in your backstage. On play, look at up to X cards from the top of your deck, choose 1 card amongst them, put in your hand, put the rest in the waiting room. X is equal to the number of World of Avatar characters you have. Really cool. Ho, the Face Stealer. I think that's how it's pronounced, but it's the Face Stealer. I remember this enemy. It says 0/0/1000. Even like the other spirits and everything all have World of Avatar. At the beginning of your climax phase, you choose a World of Avatar, give it 1,000 power. This is a spammable Brainstormer. Pay 1 mill 4 for each climax, perform the following action. Search your deck for a World of Avatar, add it to your hand, and then discard 1 card. Really cool. Oh yeah, they kissing. The 0/0 Aang Katara Expressing Affection. If your level is 2 or higher, this gets the ability to be able to sack itself to summon a Katara and Aang reciprocated feelings in your hand and put it on the stage position this card was on. Climax combo. At the beginning of your encore step, if you have another World of Avatar character, you can pay the cost, which is sacking, struck down from your climax area. If you do, choose this card and up to one of your other characters, return them to your hand. Okay. So it basically would let you bounce back some. So say like maybe one of your characters got reversed, or even this card. Okay, so that's interesting. At like high, even like other levels, it's not the best in the world, but I can see some use for this because it just says at the beginning of Encore step, before you ever like have to, pay Encore for any characters, you could just frontal with this if you don't give a shit. And then frontal with another character, and if it gets reversed, it gets reversed. It's whatever. You can then pay this, which is very cheap, just sack the climax you were swinging with anyway, and then just bounce both of this reverse character and another reverse character back to hand. Interesting. So then I did see some spoilers for this with the Ember Island players. I thought it was really funny. So oh man. Okay, so 002K, Ember Island players casting horrors. If this card is in the stage, its name is regarded as Aang. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can discard a World of Avatar, search your deck for one of like several other like the Ember Island players' characters. This was based off of like an episode. It was a recap episode, but it was recapped by theater people, like trying to say everything that had gone on at that point. It was really crazy. So Momo Winged Lemur 002K. Here we go. When this is placed on stage from your hands, you can pay the cost, which is return 2 avatar characters from waiting room to deck. Shuffle your deck. If you do choose an avatar, it gets +1 soul. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can pay the cost, which is pay 1 pitch a climax to salvage back a climax. So it's a climax swapper. Common. Really good. We got I forget how to pronounce his name, but it was like one of the mentors. I don't think this was the specific one that like Aang looked up to a whole bunch, but it was like one of them. It's a 103K. If this card is in your memory, at the beginning of your climax phase, choose a character with Aang and he gets 500 power. An act of pay 1 and put this standing card into your memory. Choose an Aang missing companion or Aang avatar state in your waiting room. Return it to your hand. Is that specific? Okay, don't. Hold on. Is this level 3? Okay. There was an Aang avatar state in the Trial Deck Plus, so this might support that Trial Deck Plus Aang. It probably does. I don't know. Oh, yeah. So over here, the little... Thank you, Weiss Tea Time, for putting these little notes where it says T16. So that is from the trial deck specifically. And Missing Companion was the 2-1 above. So, Appa, ready to fight. 1-0-35. At the beginning of attack phase, choose a World of Avatar, gets 1,000. Beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can discard a card. If you do, choose one of your other characters, put it face up underneath this card as a marker. At the beginning of your next draw phase, choose one character from the markers underneath this card and put it on any position of your stage. I'm getting more Ganakar vibes, which makes a lot of sense for Appa. That's pretty cool. Okay, the first time I saw this, I legitimately thought I was looking at like the fucking Yamcha meme, because I was like, oh, Yamcha's in the crater. Wait, that's Momo. It's a 1-1 event. When this... Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not an event. It's just a character. 1-1-45. When this becomes reversed, if the card's battle opponent is higher than the opponent's level, you may put that character into your opponent's stock and put the bottom card of their stock into the waiting room. Yeah, I thought this was the Yamcha meme for a second. So this is Appa Lost. This is what the other one summons. It's a 2-1-7K. On attack, if you have an avatar, gains 3K. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you may put this card into your memory. If you do, at the beginning of your next draw phase, you get to summon this back to any position of your stage. That's really interesting, because you could summon multiples of these, and then just they all bounce out, and then just bounce back in, which is really crazy. So that could have some potential uses. We have Yip Yip, which is the 1-0 counter event. This is basically, for anyone who knows omnidirectional mobility gear, I remember seeing this when spoilers were coming out. This is basically that. Search your deck for an avatar character. Add it to your hand, then discard a card. Choose up to one avatar character in battle, move it to an open position of your stage. Yeah, this is omnidirectional mobility gear. So I really like that this is a thing. Next we have Aang consulting his past selves. I think this is an event, because I don't see a power down here. It's a 1/1 event. If you do not have a character with Aang its name, this card cannot be played from hand. Look up to 4 cards on the top of your deck. Choose an avatar amongst them, add it to your hand. Then put this card into your memory. While this card is in your memory. No, what the fuck is this? Am I reading this right? If this card is in your memory, your climax can be played from your hand without fulfilling color requirements. And all of your World of Avatar characters in your hand get the following ability. This card can be played from your hand without fulfilling color requirements. Ayo, what? What the I'm okay. You don't see that. I'm sorry. There's probably people like, man, you're getting too excited over a simple event. I don't care. This is fucking awesome. This is really, really cool. You just don't see this that much. Like, okay, when I saw the Suisei level 3 from Hololive, that's like, oh, this can be played from hand. You can early play this without fulfilling color requirement if you fulfill the early play condition. And I'm like, that's so broken. This is an uncommon event, it looks like. Just, okay. Just, here, you do not worry about color for the rest of the game. That is actually awesome. So, energy bending, the choice trigger. That fucking art is so damn cool. That's the triple rare. Struck down, once again, just really cool. Like, it shifts, it has different... I love the fact that there's alternate arts. Please keep doing this, Bushi. And then just reunion with the group. Just this so adorable. Toph wanted. We're getting into the greens. Hell yes. Oh my god, this is gonna take so long, but I'm loving this set so far. 0015. When you use an act, put the top card. Look at the top card of your deck. Put it on top or bottom. Pretty cool. Brainstorm. 1 time per turn as well. Brainstorm. Pay 1. Rest this. Mill 4 for each climax. Salvage. Okay. Toph, the Blind Bandit. 1045. With once again, all the green climaxes are gold bar. This is still really badass looking art, even though, like I said, I don't care for the hot stamped. I don't think it's good, but I love the art. So 1045, up to 1 time per turn when you use an act, which does count backups, by the way. This gets 1500 power till end of turn, making her a 6k. Her climax combo is with a gold bar, so 7k minimum before anything else. When this card attacks, if Skillful Display is in your climax area, you have 2 or more other avatar, you can discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, perform the following action 2 times. Put the top card of your deck into your waiting room, choose a 1 level X or lower avatar character in your waiting room, return it to your hand. You do this twice. X is equal to the level of that card. So you can just add the card that you milled, assuming it's not like a climax. So if you mill a level 0 character, you can just add that same level 0 character to your hand. If you mill a level 3, because you perform the action, each of those twice, you do it separate. It's on attack, you don't have to reverse. This is extremely powerful, because this could still be very useful as a defensively as well, since it has that act, when you use an act, it gains 1500. So it bumps itself up to 6k. If you use a free 2k backup, because there's a free 2k backup in the trial deck alone, you can use that to make this a 108k defensively, which is really crazy. So this is a very good climax combo, unless I'm reading it wrong, but I think I'm reading it correctly. That's really cool. Toph's stopping library from sinking is a 002k. Up to 2 times per turn when your avatar character is placed on stage, this gets 1000 power. Pretty cool. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if failure to protect is in your climax area and you have another World of Avatar character, search your deck for a World of Avatar, add it to hand. Put it into hand. Yeah, okay. Really cool, and this is a really awesome moment in the show, obviously. We got Suki, one of the Kyoshi Warriors. It's a 1015. When this card is placed on stage from hand or put into the waiting room, you can discard 1 card to salvage back an avatar character from your clock. I said salvage. To add a character from your clock to your hand and then put the top card of your deck into your clock. And then this is a cost 0 or lower clock bomb. So, interesting on that one. And the SR looks great. We have Toph and Aang Earthbending Lessons. see. It's a 2,500 backup. When you use this card's backup, you can pay 1, pitch 1, put a character from your stage into the waiting room. If you do, you may put the top card of your opponent's clock into their waiting room, and if you do, choose one of your opponent's characters with a level higher than your opponent's level and put it into their clock. That's nice. Okay. It's a little bit of a, I mean, it's understandable hefty cost, but I mean, whatever. 2/1, Toph High Society, where she's like having to dress up all proper and shit. 2/1, 6k. Level 3 or higher in front gets 2k power. When your character's trigger check reveals a climax, doesn't matter what kind, you can discard a card. If you do, reveal the top card of your deck. Choose one level X or lower character in your waiting room. Turn it to your hand. X is equal to the level of the revealed card. Rest this card to choose a character and give it 500 power. That's also an act, so you can use that to start up like abilities and everything. We have a 3/2 Toph Metal Bending. Hell yes. Toph 3/2, 10,500. When this attacks, if you have Invention of Metal Bending, and you have another avatar character, choose one of the following effects and performance. So the first one is to salvage back a World of Avatar character. Or no, I'm sorry. No, to choose a character in waiting room, return it to your hand. Then it's all in the same effect. So you get to salvage a character and then take one in waiting room and put it into your stock as well. Or you can pay 2 stock to deal 2 damage to your opponent. Pretty cool. When this is frontal attack, look at the top card of your deck and put it on top of your deck or into your waiting room. Very nice. I do very much like that. I'm just trying to speed through stuff. Protecting Bossing Say. If you have another World of Avatar, this card gets 3k power, so it becomes a 35. Battle opponent becomes reversed. You can put the top card of your opponent's clock into the waiting room. If you do, put that character into your opponent's clock. Forcible removal. Very nice. Toph Childhood. The 00500. When your character's trigger check reveals a climax with a gold bar trigger icon, you can discard a card. Choose one card in your clock, return it to your hand, and put the top card of your deck into your clock. So a lot of green is going to have the clock swap shenanigans, which is kind of typical for most like older green decks anyway. Has an act ability to choose up to 2 of your characters, and they get 500 power till the end of your opponent's next turn. Really nice. We have Suki Coming to the Rescue as a 001,000. When this becomes reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a level 2 or higher, you may return this card to your hand. And it has a bond with a specific Sokka warrior of the Southern Tribe. I'm assuming that's going to be way later, because Sokka was blue in the trial deck. Put up to 1 card from your hand to the waiting room for the bond. The Dai Li Agents is a 0015. Your stock has 2 or less cards. This gets +1 level and 1,000 power. That's actually pretty strong. When this is placed on stage from hand or put into your waiting room, look at the top card of your deck and put it on the top of your deck or into your waiting room. Moving right along, Zenfu and Master Yu Tapped by Metal. Or Trapped by Metal, maybe? Trapped by Metal. 1035. When your climax is placed on your climax area, this gets 1,500 power till end of turn. If you have another Toph Prankster, choose one Toph Metal Bending in... Oh, it's an act. To sack this, if you have the Toph Prankster, to grab back the level 3 Toph Metal Bending and add it to from your waiting room, add it to your hand. Pretty cool. We have Toph Sleep Deprived as a 104k. Up to 1 type return when you use an act, this gets X power, which is number of avatar characters you have times 500. Total, so it can be a 25 with the full field. When this attacks, if the character facing this card is level 2, this gets 6,000 power till end of turn. Potentially could be killing some Alice characters with it. It's kind of nice. I would say at level 1, this being able to potentially kill some Alice, like level 2 shenanigans, is kind of funny to me. I mean, she becomes a 10k by this ability alone. Then if you have a full field and you use an act ability, if the act ability isn't giving her a buff, she's still at 12.5, which is like the threshold that you need to be able to like get over most of them. I mean, that's pretty cool. Then like with the climax, she'll be like a 13.5 if not higher. So Toph Prankster. This is both a 2,500 backup and it has a climax combo. When Invention of Metal Bending is placed in your climax area, you can, and your level is 2 or higher, you can sack this to summon one of the top metal bendings from your hand. So you have the other one that like sacks it to add itself back if you have this on the field, which you can use this on the field to be able to summon the level 3 at level 2. So that's pretty cool. Long Fei Grand Secretariat. It's a 2/2 5k. This gets 2k power for each marker underneath. When this is placed on stage of hand, you can choose up to 3 of a particular level 0 in your waiting room and put them face down underneath this card as a marker. So if you get all 3, that's plus 6k, making him an 11. Okay, kind of interesting there. Boomy! We got Boomy, an old friend. It's a 0/0500. This is a common, by the way. When this card becomes reversed in battle, you may choose one card in your opponent's clock, put it into the waiting room. If you do, your opponent puts the top card of their deck into their clock. You get to like purposely get rid of cards from their clock. Like if they're trying to go for some specific experience shenanigans, you can really fuck them over with this. When this card becomes reversed in battle, if the battle opponent is level 0 or lower, you may put the top card of your opponent's clock into the waiting room. If you do, put that character into your opponent's clock. So typical clock bomb. One of the other Ember Island players, 0/0, played by a man. If this is on stage, it becomes Toph. All of your other Ember Island players get 1000 power. Pay 2, rest this, search your deck for a World of Avatar character, add it to your hand. So there could be like an entire deck with this, as like the entire Ember Island players as like a weird engine. Judy, okay, this is the level 0. Welcome to Bossing Say. You can put any number of cards with the same card name as this card into your deck. We have an army build. Oh no. Why? When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, you may pay the cost, which is 1 stock. Search your deck for a copy of it and put it in any position of your stage. Shuffle your deck. What the fuck? Why is this a thing? This fucking face, though. Why is this a thing? Okay. Aang, building a zoo, 1/0/45. Up to 1 time per turn when you use an act. See, that's the other thing. I think there's like an Aang card for every single color as well. When you use an act, this gets 1500 power and the following ability until end of turn. When this attacks, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a level 1 or higher, put it into your stock. So, Jet Manipulated. The 2/1/75. During this card's battle, all players cannot play backup from their hands. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, this card gets plus X power until end of turn. X is equal to the number of avatar characters you have times 1000. So it can become a 12/5. Toph Melon Lord. 3/2 10k. It's a little harder to see this one. It's a little blurry, but I'm going to try my best. When this is placed on stage from hand, you may pay 1 stock. If you do, your opponent puts all of their stock into the waiting room and puts the same number of cards from their top of their deck into their stock. We have a stock swapper. Buns for luck, but it's melon buns. When this direct attacks, you may choose a World of Avatar character in your waiting room, put it into your stock. That is fairly good. There is no war in Bossing Say, by the way, kids. It's a 2/4 counter event. If you have 2 or less green characters, this cannot be played from hand, so you have to have a minimum of 3 green characters. You may choose 1 climax in your hand, put it into your waiting room. If you do, choose one of your opponent's characters, return it to their hand. Just straight up get it off the field. Just get it out of here. That's pretty cool. We have Gold Bar for skillful display. Look at the fucking art for this. Okay, so it's different, but it's Invention of Metal Bending. She's hitting the roof of this one, and she's hitting the sides with this one for the triple rare. And then Failure to Protect is the Gold Bar. Now we're going to get into the reds with Zuko Crossroads. Once again, just really cool art. I'm not going to stop saying that. If you want me to like put a counter in the top corner and just be like, every time Cade says that this has really cool art, you know, just it's going to happen like 100 fucking times. Just put 69 in the corner. There we go. When this is placed on stage from hand, you may put the top card of your deck into your waiting room. If that card is an avatar character, this gains 2000 power till end of turn. When this is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1 stock. If you do, look at up to 3 cards on the top of your deck. Choose 1 card amongst them, put into your clock. Put the rest into your waiting room. If you put 1 card into your clock, salvage back an avatar character. Okay, it's kind of interesting. You get to take the damage from the cards that you revealed. So you can get rid of, purposely put something in that you don't need. That's pretty cool. Or if you're, once again, setting up for experience shenanigans. 3/2 Zuko for honor. Combos with Standby. This is really fucking nice right there. This is, okay, so this is the other secret rare of the set. Holy shit. That looks so good. If all of your characters are World of Avatar, this gains 3k power, so he'll be an 11. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you can heal one. When Siblings Agni Kai, which it says is a standby trigger, if you have another Iroh, the Dragon of the West, this gets +1 soul and the following ability until end of turn. When damage dealt by this card is canceled, you may stand this card? Hello? Okay. I kind of want to go ahead and see the Iroh. We're going to get to it in a second, but anyway. Okay, so this still works off the same Siblings Agni Kai. When this is played, so it's a 3/2 9k Azula Verge of Insanity. When this is placed on the stage from your hand, you may put the top card of your clock into your waiting room. When this attacks, it gets X power times the number of characters your opponent has times 500. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you have the standby, and you have a Ty Lee Popular. You may pay the cost, which is pay one. Put another character from your stage into your waiting room. If you do, put the battle opponent on top of the opponent's deck and deal 3 damage to your opponent. There's a lot of shit going on with this. So we need to look up the Iroh Dragon of the West and Ty Lee Popular. So Zuko T server. Let's see. Placed on stage from hand, you can discard an avatar to draw a card. When damage dealt by this is canceled, you can put this into stock. This is still really cool. Zuko and Iroh Forgiveness. This is such a fucking good... This is such a good part of the show. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you can pay one, put one card from your hand into the waiting room, choose one avatar character in your waiting room, return it to your hand, choose one of your other avatars, it gains 1,000 power. When damage dealt by this card is canceled, you may return this card to your hand. Okay. Interesting. Iroh T server is a 002k. This is placed on stage from hand. Choose one of your other avatars. Gets 1,000. Bounce this back to your hand when you play a climax to give a character +1 soul. Here's your standard. You need this in standby bounce back effects. Azula Talented Sister. If you have two, it's a 104k. If you have 2 or more other avatar characters, it gets a constant 2k. When this attacks, if falling out, which it says is the door climax, and you have 2 or more other World of Avatar characters, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Your opponent chooses one event or character amongst them, add it to your hand. You choose up to one of the revealed cards, except the card put into your hand. Put it on top of the deck and put the rest into your waiting room. Okay, kind of interesting there. Mai, being Moody, is a 104k. During your turn, if you have another World of Avatar, it gains 3k, so it's just a free 107k. When this is put into your waiting room from the stage, you can pay 2 stock to salvage back a avatar. Okay. Zuko on the Run, 104k. When your climax is placed in your climax area, this gets 2k power and the following ability until end of turn. When you attack, you can pay 1 to twin drive. When this attacks, if you have another avatar character, this gains 1500 power till end of turn. Ty Lee Popular. This is the one that you need for the Azula. The 215k. Oh, so it's a level assist. So you just had this in back row. Okay. Resonate with the Azula on the Verge of Insanity. Rest this card. Choose one of your opponent's characters, and that character gets the following ability until end of turn. During this card's battle, you cannot play event cards or backup from hand. This is reminding me of there was a level 2 in Bang Dreams. It was like a Saya or something that did this. Sorry, I had to get a drink of water. Okay, next we have Iroh Dragon. So this is the SR art, but they didn't show the regular art for it, so I don't know what it's going to be. But this is the one that combos with the Zuko for Honor. All of your other Zuko and Aang Dancing Dragon and Zuko for Honor get the ability. When this card attacks, you get to look at top 2 cards of your deck, choose a card amongst them, put it into your top of your deck, put the rest in the waiting room. All of your other World of Avatar characters get 1500 power. And this is a level 3 Brainstorm, which, okay, to be fair, the standby, you're just going to put these cards onto the field anyway. So the standby just eliminates having to question if you're even going to have these on the field to begin with. So Brainstorm, pay 1, tap 2 characters, mill 4. For each climax revealed, perform the following action, which is a look up to 3 cards from the top of the deck, choose one card amongst them, add it to your hand, put the rest in a waiting room. Okay. Really cool there. Okay, so this is Dancing Dragon that this affects this one as well. 3-2-10k, which combos with the other standby. Let's see. During your climax phase, when this card is placed on the stage by Colors of Fire, you can pay 1, discard a card, and sack the standby. Stand this card and choose up to 1 Zuko and Aang Dancing Dragon in your waiting room and put it on any position of your stage. Okay, so you standby in. It lets you standby in 2 for the cost of 1. Like 1 stock and discard a card, which you can discard a copy of this for the cost. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't actually have to be in there before you pay the cost, to my understanding. At the beginning of your attack phase, if this card is in your center stage, you may choose one of your opponent's level 1 or higher characters. And if you do, your opponent chooses 1 level X or lower character in the waiting room and exchanges them. X is equal to the level of the character you chose minus 1. So it lets you swap out your opponent's characters. Also, I just realized that it looks like they're doing the fusion dance. I never made that connection years later. So, this is really fucking cool. This is on a rare. I would totally make a deck based, or like an 8 standby deck based around like the fire cards in here. So that is really fucking cool. I also just realized, like, for the background, there's the fire symbol. I wonder if that's in the background of like most of these. Maybe, I don't know. We have Ty Lee Betrayal, which once again combos with the level. It has a combo or effect with the 3-2 Azula. It is a level 0 reverser. And then when this is put into your waiting room from the stage, you can sack. You can send an avatar character from your hand to waiting room, and if you do, search your deck for that level 3 Azula or the level 0 My Betrayal. Add it to your hand. Interesting. Because if you do that in like an 8 standby deck, you not only get to search out the level 3 Azula, you get to pitch your other standby targets, which is really cool. So, Lord Ozai. All of your characters get the ability that they can't side attack. He's a 1055, by the way. When this is placed on stage from your hand, put the top card of your deck in your waiting room. If it's a level 0 or lower, choose 1 cost 0 or lower character in your opponent's center stage, put it into their waiting room. That's still really good. 1-1, Iroh, Order of the White Lotus. If the character facing this card is cost 0 or lower, this cannot become reversed. When your other World of Avatar character attacks, this gets 1,000 power till end of turn. So it can become a 1/6k that just can't be reversed by cost 0 or lower. That's really cool. Zuko, Near the Campfire. 1/145. If you have another World of Avatar, this gets 1,500 power, so it's a constant 1/6k. And it has Twin Drive and Character Encore. Then, when this card's trigger check reveals a card with a crit trigger, this gets 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it encourages you to do the Twin Drive to try to trigger multiple crit triggers, which is very interesting for that, because you could push for some nice damage without having to play climaxes. Or if it's in a standby deck, it lets you try to push for much more damage doing that. And obviously, if you get to trigger multiple cards, there is chances for like triggering more standbys, which is really cool. So then Zuko, Redirecting Lightning. 2-1 is a 3k backup. When you use this card's backup, put the bottom X cards of your opponent's deck into the waiting room. X is equal to the number of avatar characters you have. So it just makes them bottom deck for just milling a little bit more. A 2-2 Iroh buffed. This dude, holy shit. Okay. It's a 2-2-5-5, 5,500. If you have 2 or more other avatar, this gains 3k power, making him an 8-5. When your character's trigger check reveals a crit trigger, choose one of your World of Avatar characters that gains 1,500 power for the turn. Once again, so this is meant to work off of that Zuko with a Twin Drive, or any card in here that has Twin Drive. It's giving... for the most part, I don't care for Twin Drive, but this is rewarding you for using that if you reveal multiple trigger icons. Like, multiple crit triggers means you get a lot of buff and a lot of effects, which is really cool. During your turn, all of your other World of Avatar characters get an extra 1,500 power in general. So he gives buffs to like everybody. Iroh buffed as well as buffing others. So then we have this 2/2. Let's see. Azula Sinister Scheme is a 2/2 8K. If all of your characters or avatar gains 500 power and character encore. When this attacks, you can sack another avatar character. If you do, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 1 or higher, put it into your hand. Very interesting. So you could purposely use this to sack a character that has been reversed. Like you swung with something, and then you they use like a backup or something. If the character's already reversed, or you purposely swung with like a stock bomb or something, you can just go ahead and just get it off the field and get some potential more advantage. Pretty cool. Aang Firebending Misfire. 00500. When this is placed on stage from hand, all characters in your opponent's center stage lose 500 power. And an act of discard a card and sack this one to salvage back an avatar from your waiting room. So Iroh Leaves from the Vine. 001,000. 500 assist in front and an act. Pay 1, sack this card, look up to 4 cards on the top of your deck, choose one avatar character amongst them, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, put the rest in the waiting room. My Betrayal. We mentioned this for one of the other characters. I'm getting another drink. I'm doing way too much talking, forgive me. So as a Resonate, at the beginning of your, hold on, it's a 0015. At the beginning of your attack phase, you can reveal the Azula. Choose up to 2 of your avatar characters that gets 500 power till end of turn. Brainstorm, pay 1, rest this, mill 4 for each revealed. Search your deck for an avatar, add it to hand. Pretty cool. Ember Island players, Scar on the wrong side. I forgot that was on the wrong side. 002K. It counts as Zuko during your turn if you have another. Casting Horrors, which I think was the Aang. This gets 3,000 power and the ability, when this attacks, look up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, choose one amongst them, put it on top of the deck, put it into the rest of your waiting room. All of your other Casting Horrors get 1,000 power. Zuko, Awkward Greeting. 003K. If you do not have another character, this gets +1 level and 1,500 power. When this is placed on stage from hand, if your opponent's waiting room has 5 or more climaxes, rest this card. Okay. Otherwise, it just counts as a level 145. So it has to have some kind of drawback. That's fair. That's cool. That's not going to happen that often. 10, Aang Wavering Confidence. So 45. When this is placed on stage from hand, it gets power equal to the number of avatar characters you have times 500. So this last on a full field would get +25, making it a 7. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if you have another avatar character, you can draw a card and then discard a card. Good filtering. Which is really good, once again, to do get standby targets in the waiting room. We have T Wisdom. It's a 3/2 counter backup. If you do not have a character with Iroh, this can't be played. Put the top 5 cards of your deck into the waiting room. Deal X damage to your opponent equal to the number of crit trigger icons amongst those revealed. This is awesome. I really like this. Oh my goodness. The Agni Kai one looks so cool for the standby. Colors, this is beautiful. This is so nice. I want to see how good it looks as the triple rare, like with the actual foiling and everything. So, and then falling out is the salvage. That's pretty cool. All right, so blue, and then I can stop talking for the rest of the night. Oh my goodness. Forgive me. And I did look, all of the climaxes in blue are pants. So, we have a 1035 Sokka, Warrior of the Southern Water Tribe, which I think there was a specific card that worked with this. During your turn, this gets 3k, so 1065. Combos with the pants, so we know it's a 7/5. When this attacks, if Space Sword is in your climax area and the total level of cards in your level is 2 or higher, we're dealing with experience. Look at up to 3 cards on the top of your deck, choose up to 1 event or word of avatar amongst them, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, and then this gets 500 power until end of. So just a little bit extra buff. Okay. I really hope experience isn't prevalent for the rest of blue. I hope it's just. I hope it's more of a flavor thing, because Sokka throughout the entire show slowly just becomes this very good tactician. And the more experience that he gained throughout the entire show, the better he was at like different types of like war tactics and strategizing. He was really, really good with that by the end of the show. So I'm hoping this is more flavor of he gained experience over the course of the show, because he's not a bender. He's just a regular fucking Joe running around with some of the strongest fucking benders in the entire world. So just saying. So then Katara Desire to Help is a 3/2/8/5. If you have 4 or more avatar characters, gets minus a level in hand. Good. Placed on stage from hand if you have another avatar. This gets the ability until the end of your opponent's next turn. During your opponent's turn, this gets 4,000 power. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you can discard a card to put the top card of your clock into your stock. So, and the art for this one's great too. We have another level 3. Okay, so no, it is. Okay, just blue's going to be experience. I'm just going to go ahead and get over it now. 3/2/9/5. Katara Saving Aang. If all of your characters are World of Avatar, this gets 1,000 power. On attack, if Spirit Water is in your climax area, the total level of cards in your level is 4 or higher, which is not bad for a level 3. I will say 4 or higher is very doable. Put up to 1 card from the top of your clock into your waiting room, and this card gets the following ability until the end of your opponent's next turn. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, we get to do some negative soul shenanigans. Choose 2 of your opponent's characters. Those characters get -1 soul until end of turn. Okay, this is still really good. Okay, you get to heal and then do some negative soul shenanigans. That's pretty cool. Katara Quick Thinker is a 0/0/500. If you do not have another Katara Quick Thinker, the number of cards... Hold on. If you do not have another Katara Quick Thinker, the number of cards put into the top of your deck into your waiting room by the climax combo of the level 3 Aang that we saw at the very beginning of the video, you get to mill 1 more card. Okay, you can't run you can't have more than 1 of this on the field for that effect, but you get to mill 5 instead of 4. So that is a thing. So then your other World of Avatar character in the middle position of your center stage gets 1,500 power. And when you rest this card, when Frozen in action is placed on your climax area, you can rest this card if you do choose 1 World of Avatar character in your waiting room, which put it into your stock. That's still really cool. Being able to get the extra mill on that is very nice. 0/0/1000. Katara No Chance Given. When this is placed on stage from your hand, choose 1 of your opponent's characters. It gets the ability it can't move to another position of the stage. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can pitch a climax to salvage back avatar from waiting room. Okay. 0/0/1K. Sokka Different Perspectives. Let's see. When this is placed on stage from hand or put into the waiting room, you can pay 1, discard an avatar from waiting room. No, I'm sorry. Put 1 avatar character from waiting room to the bottom of your clock. If you do, search your deck for 1 cost 0 or lower avatar character with a level equal to or lower than your level and put it on any position of your stage and shuffle your deck. Okay, kind of cool. Excuse me, sorry about that. Katara Experienced Fighter, 1/0/35. She's an experienced fighter and she has an experience effect. I think it says level of 2. If the total level of cards in your level is 2 or higher, this gets +1 level and 2,500 power. So just constant. So she'll always be a level 2 as well as be a 6K. During your turn, when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if you have another avatar character, you may put the battle opponent on the bottom of their deck. Just get shit out of the way. That is really cool. And that's honestly, for a free cost, that's pretty cool. Most of the time, my issue with like a lot of the experience-based effects is they feel so excessive. A lot of the experience effects in here feel very reasonable. 2 or higher, 4 or higher. So far, it feels very reasonable. So I'm actually liking it. Katara Vengeful is a 3K backup, and it has on reverse of the battle opponent Memory Kick. So this is going to be used a lot. That's a really good card. Sokka Cactus Juice. What the fuck? Okay. 2/1/7K. Okay, just because it was a funny fucking scene is not going to make me completely excuse the experience. If the total level of cards in your level is 5 or higher, this card gets looks like 500 power and character encore. And when this attacks, if the character facing this is level 3 or higher, this gets 6,000 power till end of turn. Wow. Okay, this is the reciprocated feelings that was... it gets summoned by... was like a level 3. It was another yellow like Katara, and it's a 2/2/6/5. This gets 2,000 power for each other world of Avatar in your backstage. When your climax is placed in the climax area, if you have 2 or more other Avatar characters, choose up to 2 of your characters, and those get the following ability until end of turn. It gets the top check to put 1 on top of deck and put the rest in a waiting room. So that's really cool, being able to give itself that as well as another character. This could be a very good like standby target, because if you have 2 in your backstage, it's a 10/5. Pretty cool. Then we have 1035 Sokka Warm Welcome. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can discard 1 card, choose a level 0 or lower character in your waiting room, put it on any position of your center of your stage. On attack, give someone a buff equal to 500 times the number of Avatar characters you have. Tui and La. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 2 stock, return all cards from your waiting room to your deck, and shuffle your deck. Oh, okay, because it's the yin yang fish. It's a 1045. Aang, attacking with water, 0/0/500. Placed on stage from hand, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck if the total number of colors amongst those is 3 or more. Choose up to 1 card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you may choose the bottom card of your clock and 1 World of Avatar character in your waiting room and exchange them. Okay. Like if you need a specific card in your... To be fair, it lets you put specific cards into your clock so that when you level up, you can get like a specific experience amount needed. So that's pretty cool. Katara, playing with hair. This is, someone's kink. 0/0/500. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can rest one of your other standing Avatar characters. If you do, choose a card in your level and 1 card in your waiting room. Exchange them. Okay, so it does level fix. Then choose up to 1 character gets 500 power. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1. If you do, choose 1 healing lessons in your waiting room, which I'm assuming is an event, and return it to your hand. So it lets you do level fixing to get the correct experience. So I do like that. I will say the experience for this set is perfectly fine. Oh God, that face. 0/0/1500. It's like he's pogging. All I can see is looking at this going, why is he pogging? If this card is in center stage, it counts as Sokka. If you have another Ember Island casting horrors, this card gets plus 3,000 power and plus 1 soul. All of your casting horrors get 1,000 power. Melodramatic. God, this looks so bad. 0/0/15. If this card is in the center stage, it counts as Katara. All of your other casting horrors and terrible jokes get plus 1 level, which this one is the terrible jokes. Get plus 1 level and 500 power. Rest this card, choose an avatar, it gets 500 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Sokka, Fire Nation Disguise. All of your opponent's characters get a reduced encore, because he is a 35. When this card becomes reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's 2 or higher, you get to rest this card. So we get a coin flip. Katara, High Society. 1045. When this is placed on stage from hand, this gets plus 1 level and 1,000 power until end of turn. On attack, choose one of your other avatar characters. It gets a buff equal to the number of avatars times 500. Fire Nation Disguise, 1145, level assist in front, and an experience. When your trigger check reveals a pants, if your experience is 2 or higher, you can discard a card. If you do, look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose 1 card amongst them, put it into your hand, put the rest into waiting room. I'm trying to speed through these. Oh, Hama the Bloodbender, 2165. If there's a marker underneath this card, she gets 1,000 power for each of your other avatar characters. Placed on stage from hand, you can choose one of your other characters. Okay, so you get to sack another character on your field underneath her as a marker. I didn't know if it was going to be like from the top of the deck or something. When this card's level 2 or higher battle opponent becomes reversed, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a World of Avatar, put it into your hand. Okay. Just here? Oh, okay. Which, I mean, she do get big. Okay. Okay, the Healing Lessons event, and we are done. Okay, 2/1 Healing Lessons. You may choose one of your level 2 or higher characters with Katara in its name. Return it to your hand. If you do, choose one of the following effects and perform it. Choose up to 1 Katara Saving Aang in your hand. Put it on any position of your stage, and that character gets the following ability until end of your opponent's next turn. But it has hexproof. Or Put up to one card from the top of your clock into your waiting room. Choose one of your characters. It gets 3,000 power, and then put this card into your memory. So if you do the effect where you summon the Katara saving Aang, this doesn't go to your memory. But if you do the healing, it goes to your memory. Interesting. Okay. Spirit Water is a pants. Space Sword is a pants. And Frozen in Action is a pants. I realized as I was going through these climaxes, I was like, oh no, they have promos, don't they? Chibi Zuko, what the this looks like it's straight out of like Crayon Shin-chan. What the fuck? So 0025 on play, if your opponent has one or less characters, you may choose one cost 0 or lower character in their center stage, put it into the waiting room. Oh, this is good. Placed on stage from hand, all players perform the following action. If your memory has 5 or more cards, choose 4 cards in your memory and put all of the cards in your memory except those that you chose. Okay. It's like the Swordalina. Chibi Saka is a foil. When this is placed on stage from hand, this gets 1,500 power till end of turn. If you have 4 or more other avatar characters on play, you get to take an avatar from waiting room and put it into your stock. Chibi Katara, when this is placed on stage from hand, it gets a buff equal to the number of avatar characters times 1,000. And when this card's a level 2 or higher battle opponent becomes reversed, you can pay 1 stock, search your deck for an avatar, add it to your hand. She's a 2/17k. We have a Store Assist promo, a 3/2/10k Aang and Momo. On play, draw a card, discard a card, and then bounce one of your opponent's characters back to hand. On attack, I don't know, when this is placed on stage from hand, if you have 4 or more other avatar characters, choose one of your avatar characters in waiting room and put it into your stock, so it gets to pay for part of its cost. Really cool. 3/2 Toph Spa Day. Heal on play, and when this card direct attacks, pay 1, pitch 1, burn 1. I remember reading this one earlier. Iroh, Lightning. So 1/6k. It's when your other avatar character attacks, it gets a buff equal to the number of avatar characters you have times 500. So full field is 25. 2 attacks before this is 5k, so it can become a 1/11. And then it has character encore. So just in general, good. Zuko and Mai. I think this was a good... okay, it's a 2/2/7k. It gets 2k for each other avatar in your backstage. So it can become an 11. Katara Confrontation, and this is the last card. 001000. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's characters put into their memory. Your opponent puts that character from their memory in any position of the stage. Basically, it will reset if they had lingering effects, like a negative soul thing or whatever. And when this card attacks, choose one of your level 2 or higher characters, and that character gets plus 3,000 power till end of turn. The only thing I don't see up here, there was like a Katara level 3, I think. That was like a regional promo. I don't see that up here, but they're probably just not counting it because of that. They're just counting like the box toppers and stuff in general. But yeah, okay. Legitimately enjoying this set. I want this set. I'm going to be picking it up. I'm going to be picking up a lot of stuff from this set, put it that way. I don't know if I'm going to do... I need to just get boxes because I honestly want to see if I can pull some of the higher rarity cards, because holy shit, some of these just look so good. I'm just going to leave it on this one. Because, wow, like, honestly, the secret rares look so good. I do not think I will ever get, like, a secret rare or whatever. But if I did, that would be so fucking cool. This is a very interesting set. I feel they did it justice. I was very worried that they were just going to make, like, a bog standard set. But no, they did pretty fucking good on a lot of the effects. There's a lot of effects that are thematic. There's a lot of synergy. Especially with, like, you know, the Aang working with all of the different triggers and saying, oh, you can just play shit without having to fulfill color requirement. You just don't have to, just ignore this particular mechanic of the entire game, which is just hilarious to me. So you could just be focused on, like, making certain you get that event and just playing that, and just, you don't care about that for the rest of the fucking game, which is hilarious to me. So I definitely like that, and I'm hoping they put these cards on the simulator soon. That would be so cool if they did. But if they don't, it's still, I'm going to be picking up the cards. Yeah. this gets the thumbs up from me. I'm definitely going to be looking into more of these cards. Thank you very much once again to Weiss Tea Time. I've been talking for like a while now. Let's get to signing off. I like it. Tell me what cards were your favorite in the comment section. And thank y'all very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. If not, just thank you for watching, sticking around to the end here. If you want to look up the cards yourself, like I said, go to Weiss Tea Time. If not, hey, I'm going to get going because I need some water to drink. And I will see y'all on the flip side. Peace out for now.